Everybody's been, motherfucker, go get a job, fool.
Hey, what's up, guys? We're back here with Andy. How's it going, Andy?
Doing all right. How you doing?
Good, good. How's your day been?
Good so far.
What have you been up to?
Trying to come out here and hustle up some money. Trying to clean some windows. As you can see, I got some wipes right there and some newspapers. Trying to clean
make some money, huh?
Trying to get by for the day.
What kinds of things do you do to make money out here, bro?
That and just go to door sometimes. Try to clean up people's backyards, rake leaves. I'm doing the temp agency thing. So when I do have a phone, now that I just found out they give you a free phone if you're not working, or if you make under a certain amount. That helped me out a lot. I've only had a couple jobs so far, just because you have to do a full background check and stuff. So I'm kind of limited as far as what kind of jobs I can do. But so far it's helped me out a couple days.
How old are you, bro?
34.
34?
Yeah.
And you mentioned before the video you're from Grandview, huh?
Yeah.
What brought you from Grandview up to Yakima?
My family lives up here. My mom, she lives in Encila.
And I take it you're homeless right now?
On and off. Yeah.
On and off?
Yeah.
Does your mom ever come out and check up on you?
All the time.
Any other family members come and check up on you?
My sister sometimes, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Do they bring you food, or how do they help you out, bro?
For the most part, yeah, rides and just making sure I'm all right, you know, food,
That's good.
clothing. I go to Goodwill once in a while. They'll be nice enough to buy me some clothes if I need it. Clean socks.
That's good.
Gloves, mostly gloves, which just beanie.
That's
So
cool.
they've been a lot of help when I really need it.
Where are you sleeping at night currently?
I don't. When it's nighttime, I can't. I get paranoid thinking someone's gonna rob me or try
Do you
to
like
beat me
walk
up.
around
So
Yakima? Or?
yeah, I'll walk around or hang out. If I can find somebody that has a blanket, if I don't have one, I'll kind of give them $1 to let me kick it. And,
When was the last time you slept?
this morning.
Oh, you slept a little bit?
I slept good. Yeah.
So when you don't sleep that well, because you say you walk around most of the time.
Yeah.
How do you feel that impacts your mental state of mind?
It tears you up. That's probably the worst side effect there is lack of sleep.
What kinds of things do you go through mentally? What struggles do you go through?
Thinking about what I'm gonna do to survive tomorrow. How am I gonna get back up on my feet? Because I've worked before, you know, steady jobs, and thinking how am I gonna be able to get a place so I can get a steady job and not let them down. I've had a few jobs where I end up letting them down because you can't. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard to go to work and you haven't showered. How are you gonna go to work all stinky? And it's hard out here.
When you do get to shower, where do you shower when you do get to shower?
I'll find people that have hotel rooms and try to kick them down, smoke with them or something, and see if they'll let me shower up there, and go home to my mom's or my dad's house in Grandview, take a bus and shower up there when I have the ability to. If they're
What
not
kind of
mad at me.
substances do you do out here, bro?
A little bit of everything, but I've been kicking down on. I stopped smoking meth as much. Every once in a while, I don't know why, but I'll do it. But I'm trying to cut it off altogether.
What
downers.
drugs do you feel is the most addicting out of the ones you do?
They all can be addicting. It's just changing your state of mind, and I do get a lot of back pain. So I think the downers have been the most, I would say, helpful for me, for my body, so I can get up and get going for the day. People say I justify it, but I think it really does help me physically. I just wish doctors would be able to help me figure out what the problem is and prescribe legal drugs that would do the same thing. I think I would go that route if it was possible.
How does it make you feel when you're doing meth?
Not good.
Not good at all?
No, that's why I'm quitting. I feel like it's a poison lately. It's more of a poison than a good. But for some reason, I feel like it's gonna be like that first time high. I try to chase that sometimes. Be like, let's try this out.
Time, bro?
I was up for days and talking. I've never, to be honest with you, I don't think I could give it a good description. No, and it's mentally, I'm thinking about it. I feel like it's almost a form of I don't want to say insanity, but there's nothing good out of it. But I did enjoy being able to talk a lot, and mostly I think that what I got out of it, what I like about it, is I'm talking with other people. A lot of times I'll be by myself, lonely, and I think that's what's gotten me hooked onto it, is I'm hanging out with somebody, talking and bullshitting for a while.
Do you like being alone or with groups of people out here?
Out here, it depends on the people. Like I think groups of people is best if for the right people. But I've had a lot of bad experiences around groups, so I think I'm by myself a lot.
What kind of bad experience have you had?
I've had people trying to steal your stuff. A lot of times I've had my clothes come up missing or bags. It's you trust the wrong people. You're hanging out with people thinking they're cool, and your bag's somewhat missing, your phone. As soon as you fall asleep, your thing's somewhat missing.
How many blues do you do a day, bro?
2 to 5 a day recently. They haven't been as strong, so about 2 a day, I would say 3 a day, or every other day.
Do you get the same feeling when you do blues as when you do meth?
Not at all. No.
What's the difference?
Meth is the upper. It's supposed to be, but it's been so bad that I don't think it's an upper anymore. It's a lot of just.
And when you say upper, for people that don't understand, like it makes them feel
active.
Better. Is that what you mean? Or
no, not anymore.
What do you mean by upper?
It would back then. It would something in my brain would change that would make me feel happy. Like it's a false happiness, you know. So it makes you happy for a little while, but the next day you feel like crap.
Like shit. Huh?
Yeah, and it's like I said, the meth was different back when I first tried it about 15 years ago compared to now. So I think sometimes I'm like, oh, in hopes of let's try this out. Maybe it'll help me to get going throughout the day, and I'll quit. I'll quit the blues by smoking this for a few days, and then I'll just quit this because this has never been my drug of choice. So I think that's kind of what I look for sometimes, and it hasn't happened. So I'm trying to cut it off altogether.
And then how does the blues make you feel?
It relaxes me. It gives me it helps take my pain away a little bit. So I try not to do too much. So. It'll be rare the day you see me nodding out. I don't know if you've seen people out here on the street nodding out, falling asleep. I don't get to that point.
Question, because I've been wondering this for a while.
Mm-hmm.
When you see people nodding out, is that them overdosing, or is that they just took a hit, or is that them like withdrawing? What is that?
They're something in their brain makes them fall asleep. Their body's so relaxed that it's a lot of times, I know, like you said, people are out here for days. You know, they'll be up all night, and that relaxes you. And once that pain's gone, you can relax a little bit. It's a little easier to fall asleep, and it's almost like an opiate, you know, like heroin. It drowsy, it gets you drowsy.
So when they're nodding out, though, bro, is that them withdrawing, or is that they just did a substance?
They did a substance that they did maybe did a little bit too much, more than what where they can be walking and functioning fully. So it's if they start nodding out, it's because it's hard to really time it, especially the newer guys. They don't know that they did too much, and so I don't like to get to that point. You won't. It's like I said, you'll probably see me nod out couple times in a year because I don't like to get to that. I literally just do enough of my pain.
I asked that question, bro, but it gets by me. I'm glad you informed us of that.
It makes them sleepy. It basically is what it does. Relaxes you, makes you drowsy, and you get tired. It's like a side effect to the painkiller.
Do you have any kids, bro?
Not yet.
Not yet? Yeah. That's good, bro. So they're not in the struggle too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I'm working on it. I'm trying to get clean long enough to try to plan for a family once they get back to work.
Bro? What's the plan to get clean?
Get clean? I was thinking about I need a job. That's the main thing.
What kind of work have you done before?
I've worked in warehouses. I've done a little bit of web design. Worked for some web design companies for a few years, but mostly that, and worked in the fields. A lot of hops, apples, a little bit of everything. Cherries. You know, I've done a lot of seasonal work. I should say, a lot of seasonal work.
How do you feel that individuals view homelessness?
It looks horrible. And I didn't realize it before, but I started noticing it these last couple of months. It's dirty. I mean, if you look at everywhere people are at, I mean, look at that, all this crap. Like, it's one thing I hate about the side effect of the drug is that people don't have like there's no garbage can here, but people just don't think about what they're leaving behind. They're leaving shit and piss and garbage, and it irritates me, to be honest with you. It's bad.
What causes that, bro? Maybe you have an idea of them just leaving stuff.
Lack of responsibility. They're being lazy and don't want to get up and do it. And not only that, but I've noticed a lot of people, I think, are mad at the owners, which they shouldn't be, because the owners of the businesses tell them hey, you got to go. And I've noticed a lot of it is revenge towards them. They'll be taking pisses and going poop on the walls and stuff, and it irritates me. I tell people, don't do it. Dude, what are you doing? This makes us all look bad. Like anybody that uses it looks horrible. Exactly. And not only that, but I've gotten sick. I've gotten skin infections before, and it's due to that. You know, there's poop everywhere. You touch stuff not thinking about it. Like, you know, I sit up on this wall, my hand might touch that. I might touch my shoe that might have touched a piece of poop as I was walking by somewhere, and I've had a few skin infections, so it irritates me when people do that. It sucks. It's not good. It looks really bad. It makes the whole neighborhood, and I'm sure the whole city hates it.
Yeah,
I mean, it looks bad. So that's why I've been trying to stick to myself a lot, mostly because when they see groups of people, I feel like they're kind of focusing on the whole group, not just one person.
For sure.
And it does look bad, and that's one thing I wish would go away.
And like the business owners, bro, just so people understand, you know, this area right here, I drive by every day, and every day the business owner's out here cleaning it. You know what I mean?
I help them clean. A lot of the business owners,
that's cool, bro.
This is one that I've never actually came outside and stood around for a while, but if you ask the business owners around here, a couple of them, they'll tell you, hey, I see them cleaning all the time, because I'm always trying to clean. When I get up, I try to get a bag, or I'll clean up, or I'll open the door and ask, hey, do you have a bag so I can help clean up the stuff?
That's cool, bro.
These people left a mess. It wasn't me. They already know like it's not me. Awesome, but I try to clean up after myself and some of the others, just because it gives them it kind of gives them a little bit of a, what would I say? It lets them know that they're not alone. That I agree with what they're doing when they're irritated by it. So I try to help them clean up. And it lets them, if I need somewhere to kind of hang out for a little bit and eat, munch out, since I don't have a table, can I sit here and munch out for a little bit, 10, 15 minutes, and they're not bothered by it, seeing that I'm doing that, So a lot of times they don't tell me that. I've had them even put me in charge of, hey, if you're gonna be out here, just look out for all the people out here. If you can just tell them just to clean up, and you guys can hang out here for a little while. Just please don't leave a mess. And please.
What's the craziest thing you've seen out here, bro?
I don't know. Just the stealing. Everybody's stealing, and people purposely doing dumb little things to the business owners. That's the one that I think irritates me the most, is when people are revengeful towards the business owners. Seeing when I found that out, that they're doing it because they didn't let them hang out out there or whatever, I'm just like, really? Like, it's probably one of the worst things. And the overdoses. I've seen a lot of overdoses.
That's where I was going,
a lot of overdoses.
Have you ever overdosed?
I was told I did once. I don't know if I did or didn't.
Apparently,
I fell asleep. I remember nodding out, falling asleep. I keep thinking I fell asleep, but ambulance. I woke up with the ambulance, and that was it. They wanted to take me to the hospital. I declined it just because I was already awake. I was doing good. My legs were kicking, and I just moved on.
Have you helped anybody overdose? Come out of an overdose?
A couple times.
What happened? Which one of them stick to your mind that you remember?
The one in Seattle. There was a female that had shot up, and she was out. She was already purple, and it was one of the first times I had seen it. It was bad. It was purple, and I don't know how she actually snapped out of it without Narcan. We used, I don't know if it helped. If people say it does help, she got up that day, so I don't know how it did help her, but ice. There's a lot of ice and icy water.
I've heard that before. I've heard people shove ice up other people's butt, to get
we didn't go that far, but we put it on her face, her head, the back of her neck, threw it down her shirt. Like, we just pulled her shirt out like that and threw a bunch of ice and cold water, smashed it on her face.
For people that don't understand, bro, what does an overdose look like in case they see somebody and they can help them?
They look passed out. They look like they're asleep. Sometimes they might be moving. I don't know. From what I know, from what I've seen, they're purple. They change colors because they're not getting oxygen. Another bad one I seen was over by Connections on the fence. The guy was there for like 3 minutes. Apparently he picked up his buddy's foil and started smoking it, and he doesn't normally smoke. He thought it was a pill, and it was actually fentanyl powder, and it knocked him out. Huh? His buddy even walked up to him, took the foil back, and seen him nodded out. He thought he was just asleep, but he was against the fence. I'm like, hey man, this is your buddy? I've seen him for like 2-3 minutes. I don't want to bother him. Yeah. I called him once or twice. He didn't wake up. I can't tell if he's nodded out or if he's asleep. And I don't like to bother people like that because they get mad sometimes if you wake them up out of their nod, because they enjoy that. Some people enjoy the nod. They like falling asleep like that. And I try to call him. I'm like, it's been a couple minutes, but it's starting to worry me. Do you mind if we try to wake him up? I just don't want to make him mad because I don't know him and he don't know me. I don't want him to think I'm trying to rob him. And he's like, what? I'm like, yeah, bro. It's been about 3 minutes, and it looks like he's not getting up. And he came back. He tried to shake him, wake him up, and he fell to the ground. It was just the fence holding him up, but it looked like he was kind of leaning against the fence. But no, it was holding him up. So once he fell, he started to change colors almost immediately. And
did he survive?
Yeah, we ran.
That's good.
I ran up and down looking for Narcan, asking everybody, hey, Narcan. One guy came running down. I guess his sister had passed away from it not too long ago, and so he went running down there with Narcan. They shot him with Narcan. He didn't get no effect from it. They gave him a second one, and that's the one that woke him up while the ambulance got there. It didn't wake him up all the way, but he was starting to. It looked like he was starting to wake up, but he still didn't have a pulse, I believe he said, or he wasn't breathing. And once the ambulance got there, they did. That's when he was. I don't know if he was starting to wake up out of it, or if they shot him again. But that's when he got up.
Wow.
A little bit after, and they took him into the hospital. But that was probably the scariest one I've seen, just because.
What's your message for the youth about homelessness, bro?
Don't.
Sure.
Go home, man. If your parents give you the opportunity to go home, it's not fun. It's a lot of people think it's cool to be out and hanging out with other people. It's really not. It's just better to be with your family. Be at home.
What's your message for your family or friends if they see this video?
I'll do better. I'm getting there. I'm starting to realize this is played out. I mean, it took me a lot of years to realize it, but I'm at the point where I don't want to be out here. I want to get a job and stay clean. And
do you have an email or phone number where people can get a hold of you with donations or work?
With work, yeah.
Work, yeah.
Yeah, I do. I feel like I might get a lot of trolls, but yeah, I have an email, I guess. You can email me at if I'm looking for work. Yeah, it's actually my phone number. I'll do my phone number. It's 509-712-7282.
And then would you be okay with me doing a follow-up in the future?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And then could I post this on my YouTube channel, bro?
Sure.
Sweet, thank you.